What is up, YouTube? Today it's going to be another Guild War video against Fidelis, and we've seen them before, and actually this is where the infamous Falconer Clury incident had occurred against this guild. So always, whenever we fight Fidelis, I have a little bit of a personal vendetta, if you will. But as always, please drop a like and comment below to help me with the algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let's just jump straight into our first attack of today. Alright, so we are going to be scouting the mid fort, and it's going to be Alaya, Euphine, and Shu over here. So I'm going to be going with Elvira to counter the Fighting Spirit for the Abyssal Euphine. We're going to be running Seductive Flower so that we can get a little bit of extra CR push by 16%, which is always going to be nice and welcome. And we do have a little bit of effectiveness on her, so it could be good. Now we have Solitary here on Abyssal Crown. It's going to be speed, effectiveness, nothing too special here. And then we're going to be running our DDR on a Celestine build. Since there's no debuffs coming in from the right side, or yeah, from the right side, we just need to have a little bit of healing since the Laya can potentially pull dual attacks in, right? But the main thing is I don't really think they're going to be able to play the game whatsoever. And that's the plan, right? We're just going to injure them down, sleep them, stun them. Yeah, there's a chance that maybe Laya can S1 and some things get all screwed up, but let's just hope that doesn't happen. For round 2, it's going to be Fat Cat, Candy, and Blue Shoe. So I'm going to go in with Aras to tank the Blue Shoe here, and as our mitigation, Revenge set defense buff, or defense sets. Really not the ideal set, but that's just what I have on him. And I'm going to be running my Doris on Water's Origin, who is going to be on Protection set. And now that I think about it, I think maybe Guardian Ice Crystal is going to be a little bit better just so that we can keep our Lone Crescent Bellona alive. And our Lone Crescent Bellona is just going to be on Symbol of Unity because Fat Cat does provide a 20% evasion to the entire team. So realistically, you only need a symbol so that you can guarantee hit every time. And the main thing is we just want to rush down this Shu ASAP. So dump an S3, S2 with the ARAS. If they counter, if they proc whoosh or Landy's a nuke build, we have ARAS barrier to protect the LCB so that we're not in danger. And once the Shu's dead, we'll focus the Candy with a Soul Burn, and it's pretty much over from there. And yeah, should be pretty clean. So let us go, right ahead. All right, so the Shu is going to go first to hit our Solitaria as we expected. And Laya is going to actually just press S2. So this is kind of best case scenario here because we're going to be able to play the game first. And I can go for an S3 here since it's going to give us a barrier to tank the Euphine S1. And the main thing is we do want to make sure that we don't die to like Laya dual attacks and also with the Shu. So I'm just going to go for a... I guess I'm going to go for a pushback on Laya here. Get a stun, get a pushback, that would be the most ideal. There we go. Lee Sin got the crown, and we got a dual attack. Wow, okay, that's cool. So here we go. Let's start playing the game. So S3 into S2 into Elvira, S3 onto the Abyssal Euphine, and we should be pretty good, I think. All right, let's S3 here onto the Abyssal Euphine. And hopefully we'll land defense buff and unhealable. We do. She actually counters, which is, I would say, not exactly ideal, but it should be fine. So now I can S1 Shu. Proc some more Venoms. Some Abyssal Crown procs maybe. Nice. Sweet Miracle procced. And we're just gonna sleep the Shu, just to guarantee. And Elvira is actually really perfect here just because like she's also a water bait for the Laya, so it kind of just works out perfectly in that way, right? So we're just going to S1 onto the Shu so we can proc blood mana and maybe potentially push back with the Seductive Flower here. And you can see we pushed it back with the Seductive Flower, which is nice. We stuck some Beguile onto, which is really nice. We're going to S1, hopefully land some Abyssal Crowns or just double stack Venom. And yeah, they're just going to get CC locked to death, honestly. Holy Sack Euphine comes through. This is gonna still take one turn to proc passive. I don't really want to let them have that, but I also don't want to let them dual attack with Laya. Yeah, let's just finish the Shu. And let's S1 onto the Euphine here. It actually counters. Still have one turn immortality. I'm just going to go for S3. So S3 Laya onto Elvira with Immortality doesn't do anything, so I'm just going to go for an S3 onto the Euphine. Try to stun, try to push back, just try to do something there. And we got the pushback. And Laya's gonna drop S3 onto the Elvira, but it's not gonna matter. And yep, we're still alive. Still alive. And now we S2. And go for S1. We did proc the blood mana, and we already proc the holy sack on the Abyssal Fiend, so we're realistically not in much danger anymore. And just go for S1 on this, and then S1 splash. Okay, sweet miracle procs. She pushes S2 to cleanse and CR push, and we're just gonna S3 here, get some venom. Should be fine. Honestly, if there was a lot more 15%, you know, we probably could have lost. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, we didn't, so it's all good. So let's see how the second team goes. Fat Cat's 18.1k HP, and he does have an exclusive equipment, so I want to just double check what it is. He actually def breaks our doors. That's kind of bad. 19.5k shoe. Okay, so it looks like it's CR push EE when someone evades. Okay, so he's basically never gonna evade. So in this game state, I think it's probably just S2 onto the... I can't get a death break, which is like fine. I get 2 turn immunity, so I'm gonna put Vigor up. And with this amount of damage I'm gonna do, if Shoe counters or if Candy procs counter, we're just gonna straight up kill. So there's the counter. We return it back. There we go. Nice. Actually salvos into the doors, which kinda sucks, but that's fine. And it looks like it's injury shoe, it looks like. Alright, we're gonna get another counter off, and because we have symbol, we just really hit. And yeah, it's pretty much over from here. He gets infinite CR push, but it's all good. It's gonna just be nice and steady. And just hit an S1. Snow Crystal Fat Cat. Okay, so the guy definitely just like geared up his RTA units and just said, I'm gonna throw whatever in. Clearly. It does have enough effect and it's a land on my Doris, so I want to make sure that I include that in the report so that the other attackers following up can have an easier time. Doris is stunned, so we're just gonna Soul Burn S1, headshot. GG's. Alright, nice and clean. Let me type up that report for the rest of the guild so we can send it in, and let's move over to our second attack for today then. Alright, so for our second attack, we're going to be hitting Ojix, and it is going to be a scout, so it's going to be Zio, Shirun, and ML Shu. And I'm going to be running with Aras as our fastest unit to tank the Zio S3, because the skill tree passive, Zio is going to do more than enough damage to trigger the Aras passive, so he's going to get a barrier on turn 1. And then our Doris is going to be on Water's Origin. She's going to be our primary tank for the Zio, and even potentially the Shu, but basically just protection sets so that we have a little bit extra protection, just so we don't get the initial injury proc onto, you know, our Inferno. Not like it really matters in my opinion, but that's my protection set Doors that I have as my standard build. Now for the secondary unit, it's going to be Inferno Kawazu, so we're going to be running Beni Marutachi and also Flame Armband, which is the, I guess, immunity E. Just speed immunity. Immunity is really not necessary here, so if you want to crank up more stats, feel free to. But this is just the build that I did just by switching the boot, so that's good. So the idea here is basically Zio Esther goes into Aras, it's fine. Shu Esther's into Doris, it's fine. Shirun's going to press S3, triggers our Inferno. We're going to S3 into the Shu. Now, this Shu is going to explode. Now, this is going to be a damage calculation that you'll see on screen now. And we're totally overshooting it to be 1600 defense POV Shu. Now, if you're 1600 defense, you're probably not going to have either a lot of damage, or B, you're not going to have that much HP. So we're definitely going to be able to kill without a doubt. Our second team is going to be the Solly, DDR, and Airwell. So I'm going to be going for a rank cleave. I was thinking maybe run some like Tywin, BDOM, LCB kind of comp, but I don't really want to deal with that since Solitaire gets barrier in the opening, LCB gets pushed back. Like, it's just not a good time, right? So we're just going to rank cleave them. So Rand's going to be 309 Silver Rain so that we can provide attack buff to our Ida. And our Ida is going to be on a bit of a nuke build. So she's going to be 213 speed, 4.2k, 273 crit damage on speed boots with 41% attack. Crazy. And then our Elena is just going to be Release Imprint, so that our Ida gets extra more damage. And then we have a Destro Torrent on our Elena with Unseen Observer, so we get that extra push. And there is a concern where, you know, Airwell has immunity, has a barrier, and also has escort. So in the case where, let's say, we don't break the barrier, okay, we're still going to strip the escort, and we're still going to strip the barrier for sure. So they only have immunity on the Airwell, which means the other two units are, let's just say, they don't get death broken. Ida, Soulburn, S2, S3, Alien, S3. I will drink my own piss if they live.
Stop it. Get some help.
There's no way. But yeah, let's go right. Let's go for it. Let's go. Alright, so it is Bloody Rose Zeo, AK HP, and we saw the Draco plate on the shoe in the very opening. So it goes on to the ARAS, as you can see, 24.2k Urban Shadow shoe. Sharoon is 20.2k. Now she does have an exclusive equipment, so we do want to make sure that when we're checking the CR bar, we do want to make sure we pay attention to what EE she's on. And she is on the S3 cooldown reduction E. So we have attack buff, vigor. I mean, we're gonna send this guy up to the moon, right? Like, he is just dead of dead, right? And boom. Now, one thing I want to mention, POV is not going to affect the burn damage. So if you have 6k attack Inferno, your burn's gonna do based off your 6k attack. It's not gonna be reduced by the POV. The POV only reduces the on-hit damage. So that's just one thing I do want to make sure people know about, in case you ever do want to run Inferno in this type of scenario. Strip. We have Aureus, so our door should be fine. Like, this looks like a nuke Zeo because it's almost 8k HP. But so far it looks fine. Just land double burn or something here. Yeah, just double burn is like just boom, dead. But even if we didn't land the double burn, like ARAS can just press S2, right? And if ARAS presses S2, it's more or less like GG from that point. So we're gonna S1, and then we're gonna go ARAS passive, or sorry, ARAS S2 onto the Sharoon. We did not land, but we know that this is not like a hybrid Sharoon. It's Celestine. Probably counters S2 if I had to guess. The S1s resets my Doors. My Doors is just reset to infinity, unfortunately. And at this stage, we just S1, and Inferno's just going to finish it off. And we're just going to dump an S3 here. We're going to put 4 burns on the Sharoon. I'm thinking we're going to do like 47k or something crazy like that. And boom, 34.3. Pretty good damage. Now for the second round, so it looks like it's a fast Solitaria. So we're just going to S2, like Ida's going to cut no matter what since we have Aliena on our team. And we're just going to Soulburn S3. Hopefully land our Death Bricks on all of our units. On all their units, I should say. And we only got 5 out of 6 is still pretty reasonable. So Ida's just going to Soulburn S2. We turn on auto. And I don't love doing Grand Cleave in Guild War videos, but honestly, like, tanking down this team is really hard, right? Like, I can't really think of a unit to tank down this team without it being kind of suspect. So we're just gonna we'll just play it safe, right? Just go Grand Cleave if we can, and then yeah, just S3 and this should kill. And yeah, GG's. Nice and clean second round. Let's move over to our third round today and try to finish things off because we have more attacks to do. Alright, so for our third attack, we're going to be hitting Qardinal, who is going to be running Aerial, Gilius, and Candy on defense. So I'm going to be running Conquer Lilius here on Warhorn. She's going to be on 300 speed so that we can take our first turn. And then we have our Amelia at 250 speed so that we have Guardian Ice Crystals and attack release for the Arunca. And not only that, she doesn't have enough HP for the Gala to full Penna, so we'll be okay. And then we are going to be running Arunca as our last unit, S3 damage EE. Now, this is like a crazy high tech Arunca, like almost 8.1k. We have like an extra 10% from Warhorn, 11.6% from our release imprints from Amelia and C. Lilius. So I'll put the damage calculation on screen now, and this is just gonna kill the Candy, right? Like through 2k defense, POV, or 2k defense, escort POV. Like this thing is dead. This thing is dead of dead, right? So we're gonna kill this thing for sure. And basically we just S3, S2 push Gala, or Arrow if it's a super fast one. And then we just Amelia push 50%, push the Arunca, kill the Candy, GG's, right? And we have Uberia so that we can hit the Gala kind of like a rocket punch, right? So pretty free. Bottom is going to be AOL, Braceria, and Aiden. And I kind of thought about, like, what if we maybe like tank down? Not a fan. I'm not a fan of tanking down because my dark unit like could just get one shot being death broken by the Aiden, so I'm not down to play 2v3 out the gate. So I'm just gonna go with the fast Hawk, right? So we're gonna run 285 as a Hawk here, symbol of unity, so that we can hit the Aiden, attack S2 attack buff EE, and then Sid's gonna be at 286 Wind Rider and elemental advantage EE. and with pen set obviously. And then our Watcher is just going to be 219 speed here. So basically we're just going to kill the Aiden, push the Sashay, one shot the AOL, and then Briar can't 1v3 us, and it should be pretty free from that point. So let's go right ahead. All right, let's go. So it's Hostess of the Banquet, which means it could be high ER, but like we don't really care because even if she S3s onto our Emilia, it's not gonna make any difference, and it doesn't even resist us. Like really good Galley build, by the way. So now I'm just gonna S2 push it back, and we're just gonna push Arunka, and we even stripped the escort off of this air wall. So like this Candy is just like dead of dead of dead, right? Attack buff, vigor, Arunka, like this, like look at this. Boom, 42k, GG. Hostess of the Banquet's procs, gets a barrier, actually stuns my Arunka, which is kind of lame. We're gonna get a little bit of CR here, and I guess we're just gonna S1 onto the air wall so that we don't give anything extra there. So we're just gonna S3 here. And yeah, Galley can't one-shot us, like even with it, like especially with attack down too, but just because there isn't a 16,000 HP difference, so running units like Qardinal is going to be very good as a water bait as well for Gala if you ever see them on defense. So now I'm probably just gonna S1 this. And we broke the shield, but that's fine. I'm just gonna go for an S1 soul burn so I can get the double stack on the Uberius onto the Gala. And we can push down. So if I push the Arunka, it won't go far enough. So I'm actually just gonna push this Lilius and try to pull a dual attack and just try to kill her off. There it is. She's dead. And now we just have to wait for the arrow wall to get a barrier again, and then we just one shot with the Arunka, and it's just free as a free. But anytime you see Airwall on defense with Candy, like it's probably a Dark Corvus angle or it's an Arunka angle, whatever you prefer, honestly, at that point. And we just soul burn, get double attack, Uberius procs, and it should be dead. GG's. All right, let's see if it's 310 AOL and outspeeds us. No, it's not. Nice. So I'm actually going to attack buff the Watcher here, because I want to make sure that he cuts here to do enough damage to kill the AOL. It's a POV Aiden, so it's a Zahawk bait, but it doesn't even matter because it just dies anyway, so yeah, good bait. We're gonna S3. This probably doesn't kill, since it's probably like 1600 defense or something crazy like that. So we're just gonna one-shot it with our Watcher. And we have one unit has a skill null, one unit has invincibility, so even if it one-shots our Sid, like we really don't care. And it looks like it doesn't even kill our Sid. Nice. So this is going to proc the Briar, and then I just S2 tried to dispel the immortality, and we got it. Nice. And GG. Yeah, so even on POV Aiden, it's really hard to live if you don't have any mitigation, so I think it's kind of pointless to try to trap it like that. So yeah, let's move over to the next one then. Alright, so that's going to do it for today's Guild War video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Hopefully you guys learned a thing or two, especially about that ARAS passive. He's a great bait for Zeo with that ARAS passive. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. Nothing too special, nothing too spicy either. And make sure you guys check out my RTA videos, which I will link in the description below, please and thank you. And as always, please drop a like and comment as well for helping the algorithm, obviously. But yeah, thank you for watching as always, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. So take care. Thank you. Bye.